Imagine the entire planet, every single human, jumping at the exact same moment. You hear it, a countdown in your head. 3, 2, 1, and then, boom! Millions of feet hitting the ground simultaneously. But what would really happen? Would the Earth shudder? Could skyscrapers topple? Could we launch ourselves into orbit? Or would the planet barely notice? The truth is, our planet is massive. It weighs roughly 6 sectillion tons. That's 6 followed by 21 zeros. Meanwhile, the combined weight of every human alive is just a fraction of that. Even if all 8 billion of us jumped together, the Earth wouldn't budge in any meaningful way. You wouldn't see cities shake or mountains crumble. No, the planet would barely register our synchronized leap. But that doesn't mean there's no effect at all. Imagine the energy released by 8 billion people jumping. That's millions of tons of force hitting the ground in a single heartbeat. If you lived near a dense city like New York or Tokyo, you might feel a faint rumble, like a minor earthquake. Nothing catastrophic, but enough to make your dog bark, your glassware jingle, and maybe a few plaster cracks in older buildings. A tiny, human-made tremor. Now let's take it further. Picture this. Everyone jumps higher than ever before, using springs, trampolines, or even jetpacks. Suddenly, we're not just causing tremors, we're pushing ourselves upward with incredible force. Could we actually leave the Earth's atmosphere? Not really. Even the tallest jump or the most extreme human-powered boost can't overcome gravity. But in theory, if everyone somehow reached escape velocity together, the planet might wobble ever so slightly in response. Not enough to knock us off our axis, but enough to make physicists spit out their coffee. And what about the oceans? When millions of people stomp the ground at once, vibrations ripple through the Earth. Water is heavy, but it's also fluid. Those tiny tremors could create mini tsunamis along some shores, waves just a few inches high, mostly harmless, but enough to disturb boats or scare seagulls. And if this jump happened in winter, snow and ice might shift slightly, sending little avalanches down mountainsides. Here's the wildest part. Even though the Earth is mostly unbothered, we would notice. The feeling of millions of feet hitting the ground at once, the echo, the vibration, the sense of shared motion across the globe, it would be surreal. Scientists call this phenomenon a human seismic wave, and it's exactly the kind of thing that makes you stop and think, wow, we are all connected in ways we can't see. But of course, the story doesn't end there. What if every jump triggered a chain reaction? People slip, objects fall, pets panic. Cars might screech, windows shake. 1,000 small accidents could cascade into chaos, all thanks to one perfectly timed global leap. Suddenly, the world is alive, trembling, reacting to something we normally consider insignificant. So, would the Earth explode? Collapse? Fly into space? Not even close. But the moment would be unforgettable, a heartbeat shared by billions. A tiny, global quake that reminds us of our collective power. That's the beauty of the thought experiment. The world may not bend to our jumps, but we bend to the world's scale, gravity, and physics. Next time you jump, imagine everyone else in the world joining in. It's not about shaking the planet. It's about imagining the sheer potential of humanity moving as one. The Earth will survive, but the memory? That would last forever.